interest with the Big Ten and Notre Dame, and that's the big hole in Boston's soul, as you very well know.
Yeah, it never totally made sense either. I don't know why it wasn't Boston College.
Just
Your alma mater.
Yeah, I know. Well, I learned early on 50 years ago. It's a polarizing school around here.
I know.
And there's no question. People love them or hate them. There's not much in the middle ground. And but they just wasn't. The people just didn't. In large numbers, Now the Flutie era, it was big. It was huge. Flutie era was big. They were filling Foxborough Stadium with Flutie. True. Yeah. And BC's had some very good basketball teams, and they at times they've even been able to fill the Garden at times. But when it subsides in the lean years, there's minimal residual interest. I just fear what's going to happen this year when I don't know how they're going to get a win, even one win in the ACC. What the crowds are going to be like this year. We're just not a college town. We're just not. We just aren't. The only town that hockey, of course, we're a hockey mecca. But when we're talking about football and basketball, you don't talk about Boston.
Two things hurt, I think, in the 80s that happened. One was Holy Cross just getting rid of sports.
Yeah.
Because the BC Holy Cross rivalry was a real thing, and it was great. And I was there when I was growing up. My dad went to Holy Cross. My mom went to BC, and it was a real thing. And I almost didn't know what side to take. And then Holy Cross just kills all their sports. I'll never forgive them for it. I'll never give money until they change their mind. That was one. The other, if Ewing goes to BC, it's a totally different animal these last 30 years, I think.
Maybe they would have turned in what Georgetown's been ongoing. It could be. It's theoretically possible. Yeah, I agree that.
Can you imagine Ewing at BC just being able to go to those games? In 80, sure. 81, 82, seeing this guy who was college Ewing was such a different beast than NBA Ewing. I mean, it's you can't even compare. No, you're right. He was a monster. And yeah, that would have been interesting. I've really never thought about that. I just haven't. I just resigned to the idea that he left and that was that. I care. I'm in a minority here. I love it. I still love college sports, even though I liken it in my book to being in love with a hooker. And I think it's an appropriate analogy. But I'm an enabler. I can't help it. Because they could have gone from Ewing to Flutie.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Which would have been nuts. Hey, last thing.